All right, this is how to download supporting documentation. Remember, documentation requirements from a daily note perspective are not required. There is documentation we need in the plan of care and progress notes, but if we're ever asked to provide supporting documentation on behalf of remote monitoring, that documentation lives in the software. And so we're going to go to the active RTM patient list, and we're just going to go ahead and find somebody who has some activity. And when you see the patient's name, I'm going to go over to the far right, hit the three little dots here, and go to download patient files. So this is also a time period. So we're going to go from the beginning to today, and we're just going to hit download. Now you could sort that time period based on if you're asked for a certain amount of time period from an insurance company. And this is going to download a PDF. And that PDF, I'm going to orient you to this. So in the beginning of the PDF, this is such a new program that most insurance companies aren't really aware of what RTM is. So we have in the beginning an intro section that talks about what RTM is, that this device is FDA approved. Here are the unique behaviors and things to think about if you're the insurance company and an auditor. The AMA definitions for the codes are on this report as well. The report outline, so we've got history of the codes, data transmission chats, time logs, and uploaded videos. Then we get into the actual data. So you can see the code history for this patient over the months that we selected. Here's the codes that were generated. Each code then, it talks about when it was populated, who was assigned as the provider, and then the activity that allowed us to meet the requirements for each code. So you can see that here. You'll see that for each code. It talks about the dates, who did it, why they were eligible. Then this is the data transmission section. So you can see here that we have in the month of December, we have days of activity, and we have sessions. So activity in this scenario means, I'm sorry, this is actually the day of the month. So that's an error. This should say day of the month. This is the 24th, 25th, 26th, right? And you can see that resets in January. But this, in general, this is activity on the left column here. So you have sessions, which is going to say, okay, for every video, if you had 10 videos, if they watched one video that day, they're going to get 10% credit. This person watched more than the requirements each day and got 140% credit. If they watched zero, it's still going to tell you 0%, which is data. There's a self-reported pain level that we ask them to do before they watch their video. So you can see 0 to 10 here. This person's at a 6. If they've enabled step tracking, which I highly encourage you to enable when you set up their device on their set up the app on their device, it's going to track their steps for the day. This is the data transmission log. So basically saying we have a signal that we send to their device, and then it sends us a signal back telling us that the device is installed. The only reason they would get a no here is if they were out of a data connection or they had no service in that time period. And then the programmed alerts are what we send to them. So notifications. This person clearly has these notifications turned off, but these are our data transmission points throughout the month and days. Let's see. We also have our chat. So if there's any communication back and forth, you can see here that the remote provider did send one chat on December 31st. The patient did not respond. Time log. So this is all the time of monitoring that was done, when it was done, and what the description of the monitoring was with the time period as well. So this is our log of time. And then here's our HEP uploads of videos. And then you can see total views, when they were added, who added them. So this is our supporting documentation for insurance companies if they request.